Finally, Dwayne The Rock Johnson makes his appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. 3 hours of man meat, just sitting down, talking fights and man stuff. That's all they did. There's barely any wrestling content in this whole entire conversation. It was all, dude, that fight with this guy, his punching power, unbelievable, bro. That. And like a little bit of Palestine, Israel. You know, everybody's got to get their 2 cents in on that. And let's back up off of that one. But it was in this particular clip right here where they did get into a little bit of the business. And The Rock talked with Joe Rogan about the time that Vince McMahon was about to kick him to the curb, where The Rock had one last chance to make his impact in the business, to impress Vince McMahon, to show Vince McMahon that he can be a player for the WWE. Oh, how funny that is looking back now. It's like, of course, no brainer. Check out this clip.
Things are ascending. The dream is coming true. Like, this is it, man. I finally feel like this is what I was born to do. So I wound up becoming the youngest Intercontinental Champion. So at that time, this interesting thing was happening in the world of pro wrestling where it was fans were cheering the heels and anti-authority. Fuck the boss. Then you have this kid who's 25 who's coming out. Here we go. You know, the fucking old school. And Vince and the company always told me, hey, you can't smile enough. I was like, what do you mean? You go out, you smile. I want to make sure everybody knows you're grateful. Gratitude of attitude. And I said, no, okay. And it started not to feel good to me because I said, well, so, you know, these nights I'm getting beat. But I still want you to smile anyway. And then fans started to turn. Booing every night. Every night they were chanting Rocky sucks.
Whoa.
And I had to smile through it. Ooh. The bosses were telling me, no, you got to smile. No, keep smiling. Ignore it. Ignore it. Just ignore it. So I was smiling away. I get to WrestleMania, Chicago. 20,000 people start chanting Rocky sucks. So imagine that. You're a kid, 25 years old. You got the belt on you, pressure. You're in there. And the guy who I was wrestling, the Sultan, who was actually my cousin, Rikishi, from my Samoan side, he had me in a rear chin lock. Whole arena's chanting Rocky sucks. He's whispering to me, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. Now I'm like, fuck, this is my life now.
Right.
We get out of the match. I go backstage. Vince looks at me and Pat and just says, I don't know what we did wrong, but we have to make a change. I know what that means. 2 days later, I drop the belt to somebody else. Now I'm getting beat every night. And then I get hurt. I tear my PCL, wrestling a guy named Mick Foley. Now by this time it's May. Vince says, take time off, heal your knee. I don't know what we did wrong or where we went wrong, but we got to really figure things out with you. I don't know if this is going to work out. Oof. I get a call from Vince, and he says, how's your knee? I said, it's healing up. He goes, I want to try and bring you back one time, see how it works out. I want to turn you heel. And we have a faction called the Nation of Domination, the black militant group. He goes, I want to have you join them, and we'll see how it works out. When I get to the arena that night, I'm going to join the Nation. I went to Vince. Hey, tonight when I go out there, could I just have 2 minutes on the microphone? And he's like, I don't know. He goes, it's live. You know, all our time's accounted for, allocated. I said, I just need 2 minutes. He goes, why? I said, I just want to be real and just tell the fans how I feel. And I feel like I need to recalibrate things here. He said, fine. A minute you got. Great. Get on the microphone. Now I'm walking out. They're booing me. Rocky sucks. But now I'm a heel with this heel group. I grab the microphone and I say something like, listen, I'm a lot of things, but sucks isn't one of them. And joining the Nation isn't a white thing. It's not a black thing. It's a me kicking your ass thing. And I'm going to earn this respect one way or the other. Dude, that was the most freeing thing for me in my career. It was like, you know how you have these defining moments? Even in that one little moment, I was just fucking ripping all this open. Saying, here I am. Now you can fucking boo me, but now watch how I respond. I'm going to be real.
Now you don't have to smile anymore.
I don't fuck the smiling. I'll smile when I want to smile.
Right.
But now watch how I can respond. Watch my words now. Watch my actions. Dude, the fans felt something that night. Within a month, I became the hottest heel in WWE.
Wow.
So we were really that close to just never having The Rock in WWE, or at least not having the career that he would end up going on to do. He also talked with Joe, saying that at one point he wanted to be a country music singer. So maybe we would have had Dwayne The Rock Johnson singing at the Grand Ole Opry or some shit like that. He also mentioned that he wanted to possibly be a boxer or an MMA fighter, which kind of caught me off guard. Of course, Joe dug into that, Ooh, MMA, yeah. Makes his dick all hard and he fucking goes off like a little kid. But yeah, Dwayne said he was actually talking with Ken Shamrock before his big heel turn, and was talking with Ken about how he liked his odds to stepping on over into this whole new MMA thing going on over there. Shamrock said, you should probably stick with this here, kid. You got something here. Thank the fuck God he did. And thank the fuck God The Rock turned heel. And this is something, I had said this in, I recorded like a short thing or whatever about the Marvels movie flop. And how I said that if we've learned anything from pro wrestling, it's that, it might have been in a comment on a YouTube channel. That could have been it. It doesn't fucking matter. So if we've learned anything from the world of pro wrestling, what Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, needs right now is a heel turn. Because it ain't working as a baby face. So what we've learned in the world of pro wrestling is if you are not working as a baby face and you want to get over, you must first get over as a heel. And again, we learned this through Roman Reigns. Vince fought the tide the whole entire time. That's all he was doing, was fucking fighting against it. No, Roman's my blue-eyed baby face, right? But the fans just kept rejecting it. And that's what happened to The Rock years earlier. His cousin, The Rock. 20 years earlier, 15 years earlier, whatever the fuck it was. Same thing. The fans rejected The Rock. I lived through that era. Nobody liked The Rock when he was Rocky Maivia. And it was for the exact reason, or one of at least, that Vince kept telling him, oh, you just smile. Whatever you do, smile. Because they know you're, a third generation, and they want to know that you respect it, that you're happy to be here, damn it. But he just, the poofy hair and the streamy things, and then just, I'm just a smiling baby face, just happy to be here. My daddy was a wrestler, now I'm a wrestler. Put him up. He could have went the way of like an Eric Watts or a David Flair or something like that. He was that close. Isn't that insane? The Rock, of all people. Same with Stone Cold Steve Austin. The Ringmaster was a dead-end gimmick. It was going nowhere fast. Stone Cold was on his way out the WWE just as fast as he came in. Same with The Rock. But it takes that one thing. And Vince was often stubborn about that. For all of his greatness, one of his main flaws was his stubbornness. God damn it, we're gonna do it my way. And that stubbornness, he would fight the fans on shit. You don't fight the people that are buying your tickets and your pay-per-views and shit. It makes no sense, but Vince McMahon's ego and his fucking, he has to, I know better, god damn it, I am wrestling. They don't know what's good for them. And that's exactly what it was. I mean, keep shoving shit down your throat till you learn, oh, okay, I do like the taste of shit, actually. Yeah. Oh, is there some peanuts in there? Oh, yeah. Some peanut corn. Got a little bit of corn left? You had corn for dinner last night, didn't you? That ain't bad. That was Vince McMahon. That's Vince McMahon for you. He literally was quoted as one of his things. Learn to eat shit and like it. Well, Vince didn't eat too many shit sandwiches once he got to the point where he ain't have to anymore. He got that fuck you money. You got all the power. But he was not, for the genius that he was not perfect. As we've all heard in the fucking, as we all well know from the news lately, Vince is far from perfect. But we were that close to losing The Rock. And who knows where he would have ended up. He was out of football. Maybe he would have tried MMA or something. He probably wouldn't have been a whole lot is what he would have ended up being. Honestly, I think, he was destined for wrestling. He probably would have came back to it after he went off and tried all that other shit. Who knows? But thankfully, the world has a funny way of working itself out. I highly recommend checking out this episode of the Joe Rogan Experience. It's always fun, like when Rogan's talking with people that I know, especially with he's been doing a lot of wrestlers lately. He's got a newfound respect for wrestlers, though The Rock is hardly a wrestler. I was talking to somebody yesterday about this, actually, like she was aware that The Rock was a wrestler, but it's like, no, like, I think people don't, and even the new generation, people that didn't live back then, you hear just because, The Rock's a big movie star that, of course he was a big star in wrestling, but no, Rock conquered pro wrestling. He came in and he went from that poofy haired, smiling, just happy to be here. Oh, shucks, guy. So fucking just, main eventing with Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania. World champion. In 2 years, he was the world champion going into WrestleMania 15. Right? He was the champ going into that. Yeah. He won it at that Survivor Series, wasn't it? The Deadly Games. Yeah, that was, it's one of the best turns. The Rock, his wrestling career was legendary. He did it all. He came, he saw, he conquered. Had all the biggest matches, big WrestleMania main events, championships. He did it all, brother. Then he went on and conquered Hollywood and did it all there too. And Zoa energy drinks are pretty goddamn dope too, if you haven't, except they moved it to the smaller cans, and they're not as, though the local stores got 3 for $5 on those. That's actually a pretty good deal. But regardless, doesn't matter. The Rock on the Joe Rogan Experience. Again, not a lot of wrestling conversation on there. What they talked about wrestling-wise was essentially what I gave to you here. The rest was a lot of just bro talk and bro talk and bro talk. But if that's your kind of thing, go for it. The Rogan podcasts are always a little bit long in the tooth. But you know what? So is this clip. So who am I to fucking judge? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Did you listen to it? What'd you think of it? What are your thoughts on The Rock? I am going to do a second clip here on The Rock from the Joe Rogan Experience, but it's going to be, I'm going to take a different angle with it, a different topic that I left off of this one altogether. So check that shit out. You should be able to see it probably at some point. It'll be on the end cap. Peace, love, and pizza. I'm going to go ahead and move on to that one actually right now. I'm going to do that next, just so you know. Oh yeah, thanks for checking out the video. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like it if you liked it. Yeah, and you can check out full episodes each and every Sunday right here on the channel. Oh yeah, dig it.